Attention passionate Detroit, Lions fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Detroit Lions' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Detroit Lions fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your FRINDS and Detroit Lions fans. Let's get to the news. There's a buzz around the NFL right now, swirling whispers that could have huge implications for the Lions and the entire NFC North. Rumors are swirling that the Baltimore Ravens might be eyeing a blockbuster trade, and it involves none other than safety Kyle Hamilton, one of their rising stars who's been making waves in the league. Now, this isn't just some idle chatter. It's based on some solid signals from insiders, and if it comes to fruition, it could reshape the division's landscape and give Detroit a serious boost heading into the playoffs. Let's break down what's happening. The Ravens, sitting at 9-4, are in a tricky cap situation after extending Lamar Jackson, which has squeezed their salary structure. According to sources like Diana Rossini and other NFL insiders, Baltimore is exploring the possibility of trading Hamilton, a versatile ball-hawking safety, in exchange for a third-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft plus cornerback Amik Robertson. The Ravens are also looking to free up around $19 million in cap space, which they could reinvest into their roster, perhaps to bolster their wide receiver core or shore up their pass rush. The idea is to gather assets for their future and address some holes, especially on defense and special teams. Now, why would Baltimore trade Hamilton? That's the big question, and the answer lies in their current roster needs versus their cap constraints. Baltimore's defense, while still formidable, has been allowing around 24 points per game, not terrible, but not superstar level either. They're in a bit of a rebuild mode, trying to maintain their competitiveness while also planning for the future. By parting ways with Hamilton, a player who's still developing but has already shown flashes of elite talent, Baltimore could be trying to secure draft capital and cap flexibility. They're also eyeing other moves, like extending Zay Flowers, their promising wide receiver, which requires cap room. But here's where it gets really interesting for Detroit. Hamilton is not just any safety, he's a game-changing playmaker. Since entering the league, he's already accumulated 8 interceptions and over 450 tackles by September 2025. In 2025 alone, he's snagged 5 interceptions in just 13 games, earning a solid 90. 8 PFF grade with an impressive 6 EPA per coverage snap. His ability to rush the passer with 8 sacks from blitzes and his coverage skills, especially against slot receivers, make him a nightmare for offenses. He's a versatile defender capable of covering deep and short routes, and he can also come down to stop the run with his exceptional tackling. His stats are pretty eye-popping. A missed tackle rate of just 5.8%, a yards after catch allowed of 3.6 yards per tackle, and a forced incompletion rate of 14.5%. He's also survived injuries, notably a hamstring in Week 3 of 2025, and has consistently performed well, even after missing games. For the Lions, acquiring Hamilton would be a game-changer. With the secondary currently banged up, especially now that Joseph is out with a knee injury, adding a player of Hamilton's caliber would bolster their pass defense significantly. Currently, the Lions' safeties like Robertson have been performing well, but could benefit from Hamilton's elite range and playmaking ability. His addition would likely reduce the Lions' opponent passing yards by around 30%, bringing it from roughly 265 yards per game down to about 186. That's a massive improvement, especially against NFC North rivals who love to air it out, like the Vikings and Bears. What makes Hamilton such a perfect fit is his ability to elevate the entire secondary's performance. His history of forcing turnovers, with a career 6 forced fumbles and a 32% success rate against slot receivers, adds a crucial layer of threat to the Lions' defense. His presence on the field would also open up blitz opportunities for Aiden Hutchinson, who has already racked up 11 sacks this season and boasts a 23% win rate on pass rushes. The Lions' defense, which has been solid but occasionally prone to giving up big plays, could see a dramatic uptick in consistency and explosiveness with Hamilton in the fold. From a strategic standpoint, this trade would send a clear message to the rest of the league. The Lions are all in on their Super Bowl push. They're looking to capitalize on their current window, and adding a player like Hamilton a young, ascending talent with a high ceiling, fits perfectly with Detroit's aggressive approach. His addition would not only improve their pass defense, but also complement players like C.J. Gardner-Johnson and Kirby Joseph, creating a formidable secondary that's capable of shutting down top wideouts and disrupting offenses across the league. Now, let's talk about the broader implications. If this trade happens, it's not just about the immediate boost, it's about future potential. The Lions could see a significant decrease in opponent passing yards and a rise in turnovers, key factors that often determine playoff success. Imagine a scenario where the Lions, already 9-4, gain an edge over their NFC rivals because of an even stingier defense. Their chances of clinching home field advantage, or at least a high seed, improve dramatically. Plus, with the defense forcing more turnovers and making big plays, Jared Goff and the offense can focus on their strengths, like stretching the field with St. Brown or pounding the ball with Montgomery, knowing the defense will keep the opposition off balance. And speaking of the offense, it's worth mentioning how this defensive upgrade synergizes with their offensive strengths. Goff, with over 400 passing yards and an 88.6 PFF grade, has been one of the most efficient quarterbacks this season. His deep throws to St. Brown, who's amassed over 200 yards, and the explosiveness of Montgomery, especially after the injury to a chain, mean the Lions can keep teams honest. The defense stepping up with a player like Hamilton would allow them to play more aggressive coverage, daring opponents to beat them through the air while also shutting down the run game when needed. Now, let's put this into perspective vis-a-vis their Super Bowl chances. The odds for the Lions to win the NFC have already started climbing, from around +3,500 to +1,0 according to BetMGM, as of December 2025. That's a huge jump, making Detroit a dark horse contender in the conference. The addition of Hamilton could be the X factor that pushes them over the top, especially when facing high-powered offenses like San Francisco or Philadelphia. His ability to turn the tide with a timely interception or a crucial pass breakup could be the difference-maker in tight playoff games. Of course, not everyone is sold on this possible move. Some NFL analysts argue that trading a young, talented player like Hamilton could weaken the Ravens' window of contention, especially since they're still trying to compete at a high level. They worry that shipping out a player of Hamilton's caliber might hurt Baltimore's defense in the short term. But with the right draft picks and cap management, Baltimore could be setting themselves up for future success while still remaining competitive this season. For Detroit, though, the potential acquisition of Hamilton signals a new level of ambition. It's a statement that they're willing to do whatever it takes to contend, to push past the NFC powers and make a serious run at their first Super Bowl in decades. Their current roster, with Jared Goff leading a balanced attack and their improving defense, has shown they're capable of competing with anyone. But adding a dynamic safety like Hamilton could be the final piece to transform their defense into something truly elite, a unit that strikes fear into all NFC opponents and helps them reach the promised land. In conclusion, this trade rumor is more than just speculation. It's a reflection of the Lions' evolving identity as a team that's not just content with making the playoffs, but aiming for the ultimate prize. If Detroit manages to pull this off, it could be a move that defines their season and sets the stage for championship glory. The NFL is unpredictable, but one thing is certain: the Lions are making moves, and they're doing it with purpose. This is the kind of bold, aggressive football that fans love to see, and it might just be what takes Detroit all the way to Super Bowl LX. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YOUTUBE algorithm to keep recommending the latest Detroit Lions news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Detroit Lions fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this potential trade? Do you think Hamilton is the missing piece that could push Detroit over the edge? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Lions. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Detroit Lions news.